Welcome to AB 1065 SWIPE Fees Press Conference. I am Assemblymember Liz Ortega, representing District 20. First, I would like to thank my colleague, Senator Cortese, and small business owners who are here in support. The largest source of California sales tax are collected by restaurants, car dealers, building supply businesses, and clothing stores. None of these businesses are allowed to charge a fee for collecting, accounting, and transferring those sales taxes to state and local governments. Restaurants are the single largest source of sales taxes in California. 3% of what they collect fund local public safety and K through 12 education. Credit card companies and banks shouldn't be allowed to charge them a 3% fee on sales taxes California uses to pay for our police, firefighters, and schools. Unfortunately, current law allows banks and credit card companies to charge businesses and their customers a swipe fee on the collection of those taxes. In 2023, merchants paid $1.7 billion in swipe fees on sales tax alone. I want to repeat that number one more time. In 2023, merchants, small businesses, restaurant owners paid $1.7 billion in swipe fees on sales tax alone. The credit card industry in the United States is controlled primarily by Visa and MasterCard, who have a combined market share of nearly 90% and profit margin of around 50% or more. It is absurd to require businesses like those here today to collect and track taxes at their own expense while allowing credit card companies to mark up those same taxes for profit. AB 1065 will close that loophole and provide some relief to our small businesses and their customers. AB 1065 offers a fair and effective solution. This bill will prohibit swipe fees on the tax portion of transactions paid with credit cards. By doing so, it would provide significant financial relief to our small businesses and in turn help California manage rising costs. Now, banks and credit card companies are opposed because we dare to shed light on their practice of charging fee after fee after fee, while Californians are struggling to make ends meet and enjoy the profit margin of 50%. I don't know a single Californian that will say it is okay for them to continue to be charged fee after fee after fee after banks and credit card companies are making such a big profit margin. So now, join me in introducing my great colleague, Senator Cortese.
Well, thank you very much for your leadership, Assemblymember Ortega. I'm very happy to be here in support of AB 1065, and I intend to help with the bill throughout this legislative session. I'm proud to stand with you and colleagues from both houses to support AB 1065, a bill that will help ease the burden on California families and small businesses. We made a statement, each of us, earlier this year that we were going to find ways to address the affordability issue. Assemblymember Ortega has done exactly that. As she pointed out, every time you pay with a credit card, you're not just paying for goods and services, you're also picking up on that payment a fee on the tax. That's wrong. It's fundamentally wrong that the credit card companies would profit off of taxes that are meant to be forwarded to state and local governments as a straight pass-through. California businesses shouldn't be punished by being charged an extra swipe fee on the tax they collect. In 2023 alone, California merchants paid $1.7 billion in swipe fees just on sales tax alone. That's money that could have gone into employee wages, customer savings, or reinvestment in our local communities. Visa and MasterCard control over 80% of the payment market, according to our figures. They operate a virtual duopoly, reaping massive profits with net margins close to 50%, while working families are stuck with the unaffordability issues, the rising prices. These fees on taxes are unjustified. We all know inflation is squeezing household budgets. AB 1065 tackles one of the meaningful drivers of that pressure by stopping swipe fees that end up costing an average family about $1,100 per year, according to our calculations. Let's stop letting billion-dollar credit card companies, skim money off of our taxes. Let's stand up for both small businesses and for California customers, and let's pass AB 1065. Thank you.
Now I would like to bring up Jas Hundal to give up some remarks.
Thank you for having me here today to share my experience as a small business owner, and together with other business owners here, we are paying a lot of credit card processing fees, which is not held by us, it's passed to the government. So I own Mountain Mike's Pizzas and other retail businesses in Sacramento and around the Sacramento. So credit card fees are absolutely devastating for my small business, which already have extremely tight profit margins. And every month I'm paying around $8,000 or more in swipe fees to the companies like Heartland, PCI, Pfizer, Wells Fargo, and other banks. Swipe fees are one of our highest operating expense. As a small business owner, I provide an essential service to the state of California and city of Sacramento by collecting sales tax at no cost. On the back end, I'm being charged by the credit card companies for the collection of those taxes. I'm also being charged a fee for the collection of the tips for my restaurant employees. AB 1065 will prohibit banks and credit card companies from double dipping and charging a swipe fee on the collection of taxes and tips. Every dollar counts for a small business owner, and we desperately need the relief that AB 1065 will provide us to all business owners. I'm urging all legislators to support small businesses and consumers by passing AB 1065. Thank you.
Next, we have Michael Tooley.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. My name is Mike Tooley, and I own several gas stations around the Sacramento area. My we're second generation. We've been in business in Sacramento for 45 years. Credit card fees after labor and rent, let me shed a little light on credit cards, the single largest expense for nearly every retailer. For gas stations, specifically 10 to 15 cents from every gallon goes directly to credit card companies. As gas prices increases, so do those fees because they're calculated as a percentage of the sale. The same 20-gallon fill-up now costs twice as much as to process today compared to 5 years ago. And yet, companies like American Express, Visa, MasterCard haven't done anything additional to justify those rising costs. They have no stake in our business, but they profit significantly from every transaction. These companies often cite fraud costs to justify their fees. However, in 2021, they mandated that every retailer adopt EMV chip technology, a move that required significant investment in new software and hardware. For a gas station, that meant spending $5,000 to $10,000 per pump. How much do the credit card companies contribute towards those upgrades? Nothing. Retailers and ultimately consumers bore the entire burden, and you would have thought fees would have gone down because of this new technology, but they never did. The truth is, accepting credit cards isn't optional in today's world. As a small business, we have no leverage. We're at the mercy of a few powerful corporations that set the rules and the rates. It's frustrating that the state has devoted so much attention to scrutinizing the gasoline industry, while monopolies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express avoid similar oversight. This bill doesn't solve everything, but it's a step in the right direction. Exempting tax and tips from credit card fees is a meaningful way to begin reining in excessive charges and to give small businesses and consumers much needed relief. Thank you.
Michael Leclerc? Sorry, I don't, how did I?
Michelle Leclerc.
Michelle Leclerc, sorry.
Good morning. Michelle Leclerc. I'm this year's chair of the California Grocers Association. I also work for the Holiday Market grocery chain, about a 20-store chain north of here. And as you've heard from today's speakers, using credit cards is a necessary cost of doing business. And it's a very expensive cost of doing business. $1.7 billion just to collect sales tax. Imagine what the total number is on all the goods and services that are provided in California. What I'd like to share with you is two things. Number one, these fees are not fair. They're not fair because as a cost of doing business, they are charged to every single consumer in California. So when you go to the grocery store, the cost of accepting credit cards is baked into the price of your groceries. And whether you pay with a credit card, whether you pay with a debit card, whether you pay with a check or cash, or with your EBT card, your SNAP card, or your WIC benefits, you are paying those credit card fees. To me, that's just essentially immoral and unfair. And the second point I'd like to make is that these type of fees are not good for California because they're not good for California business. That $1.7 billion, if redirected back to the businesses that actually earn that money, is going to make California prosper. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for Assemblymember Ortega and Senator Cortese for sponsoring this legislation. It's very important. Thanks.
That ends our speakers, and now we'll open it up for questions, if there are any questions. Yes.
So both you and Senator Cortese both cited the rise of price in goods as a reason for this bill. Do you see the rising threat of tariffs as a renewed kind of urgency for this bill? Could you just speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's worried about a possible recession. I hear from my constituents every single day about struggling to make ends meet, about struggling to pay the rent, struggling to pay groceries. And credit cards are really, as was mentioned, are really not an option anymore. Everyone uses a card, including myself, including you. Everyone is using those credit cards and being charged these hidden fees that are out of control. And I see this as an additional step in trying to address the affordability crisis that we're in today. Any other questions? Okay, that concludes our press conference. Thank you for being here and supporting AB 1065.